Welcome back to welcome back to another part of the monster tutorial. I am actually going to get rid of the parts and put all of them in one video cuz it's taking so long because I was in MakerPen classes and I got to work on the final project of the MakerPen class and yeah. So I'm going to put all the other parts into one video. If you haven't seen part 1 though, you should see part 1 so you get all this. And what this basically does is the monster will chase me, but it gets all flat on the ground and weird if I move like that. So we'll be fixing that and doing some other things in the video. I won't reveal just yet. So the first thing we're going to do is we can either have this decorational or environmental. It honestly depends on what you're doing. You probably want to have this decorational, to be honest. We are going to get rid of the monster tag and we are going to disable can modify with circuits. Then we're just going to spawn a cube. Doesn't matter what color. It just matters how small it is. So I'm just going to spawn this cube. Then after I spawn this cube, I am going to scale it down. And I'm going to move it to the center of his body or move it to the height of my head. Now, I know everyone has different heights, so honestly, I would just put it in the center of the monster's body. That seems to be good. Just make sure that you can't see it. And then after you do that, press done. We are going to give this cube the tag of monster now. So exit, X that, and put monster. And of course we need to remember to can modify with circuits, because if we don't have that, then it's not going to teleport above the monster. Now that we've done that, let's get a clamp and put the clamp down. We are going to connect the monster to the top of the clamp, and we are going to connect the cube to the middle of the clamp. What that basically does is that means that the cube is going to be moving around instead of the monster. Whenever anything's connected to the top part of the clamp, that part cannot be modified or anything. It just follows whatever's connected to the middle. And now that we have the cube, now it should be fixed whenever I spawn it in. So let's spawn it in. And, oh, it seems that the height's a bit messed up. So let's just go ahead and spawn them in real quick and maybe fix the height. Let's go with 58. Too high. And just like the last episode, we're just going to keep experimenting with numbers until he comes down. 55. That does not seem to work. Okay, and now that I have that done, now if I go ahead and push this, the monster is chasing me, but there is a problem. It is backwards. And yeah, whenever I prone, it does that. And whenever I jump up above it, it's because the cube inside is like that. So the reason that it's reversed is because the cube is the wrong direction. So go ahead and disconnect the cube from the clamp. Get the rotate and rotate it 2 times. So make sure that it is the green axis that you're trying to rotate it on. Might be easier if I get far away. 1, 2. And after you rotate it 2 times, you are going to want to connect it to the clamp again. And that should fix your issue of the monster looking the wrong way. And there we go, we got an AI that constantly chases us and everything. But what if you wanted an AI that what if you wanted an AI that roams around and only follows you when you get in its line of sight? That's what I'll be doing next. So we are going to be going down here for a bit with the AI. And we are going to spawn a patrol point. Patrol point. Oh, it's not a patrol point, it's an AI path point. Sorry. Okay, then once you do that, you want to place it down on the ground. Doesn't matter what direction it is right now. You want to go in here and you want to click face direction on pause. And what that does is it will make this arrow appear. And what this means is the AI will what this means is the AI will look this way and it will move to another patrol point, path point, unless you have it where it pauses there for a few seconds. So let's say I wanted to pause there for 2 seconds. The AI will walk forward, pause here for 2 seconds, and then move to another one, which I'm about to place another one down. So go ahead and get another patrol point and place it anywhere. I'm going to place my patrol point here. You can kind of see the arrows of my deleted patrol point. And once you're done placing a few of them down, obviously if you have a bigger map, you're going to have a lot more of these and it's going to be more work. But yeah, once you're done doing that, now what you want to do is to get the AI to move from one path point to the other, you're going to have to wire this patrol point to the other patrol points. So since I wired it there, the AI will walk here. But if I want the path to be more randomized, I will connect it to multiple patrol points, and then the AI is going to choose what patrol point to walk to. And you can just keep doing this. It doesn't matter if you move it, it's just acting glitchy right now, the wires. But if you want them to move in a certain way, you just connect the wires this way, and if you want them to move back, you're going to have to connect the wires from each patrol point. Once you have all your patrol points ready and everything, you can go back up here, and we are going to spawn an AI path chip. AI path point chip. So just type in AI and scroll down until you see AI set patrol point. Just gonna place it right there. Now that we've placed it right here, we're gonna connect it to. Now, I didn't mention this, but you're gonna have to connect this to the first patrol point it goes to. So it's not gonna automatically be on the patrol point. You gotta put it on one of these first. So just connect it to one of these, whatever one you want him to walk to first. I want him to walk to this, and once he's on the point, he is going to stay on the path. Even if he chases someone, he is still going to yeah, even if he chases someone, he's just gonna go back to the path after he's disengaged from them. So once you connect it to one of your path points, we are gonna connect the AI to our AI value. See, it wasn't because of the wires that are wrong. If you are going to have the AI walk on a patrol point, one more thing that I forgot is you want to make sure it's disengaged, because if it's combative, it's going to walk towards you no matter what. So we're going to change that after we see. But if you go ahead and turn it uncombative, you're going to see that it starts walking on the path that we did, and it's going to be completely random every time. Right now he's going to the left, but if I go ahead and reset the room and click this again, he could go in any other direction. He's going right now. Okay, and now that we have that, I'm going to show you how to get it to chase you around once you're in its line of sight. So, of course, this isn't going to work. The AI set line of sight parameters, but you can keep it there, doesn't really matter. So what you want to do is you want to get a trigger zone. I keep saying trigger zone, trigger volume. A CV2 trigger volume. And then once you do that, you are going to place a trigger zone in front of the AI and move it all the way up to the top of the AI. And to the sides of the AI. And this just depends on how far you want it to detect somebody. So I'm going to move mine about right there. Well, actually, yeah, I'll move it right there. And if you want more of a cone shape, because I know eyes work like that, where it's like if you're right here, they'll still see you right here. What you can do is you can clone this. You want to turn your snapping to maybe 15 or 30. It just depends on how much of an angle you want. Yeah, I think 30 is a bit too much. I'll do 15. And then we're going to rotate it. And we're going to copy this again. And we are going to rotate it the opposite way. That way we actually have 3 lines, but of course we need to match them up real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly move them over. Oh, I got world space one. I'm going to slowly move them over till they match up with each other. Kinda like this. Seems to be a bit big. And you just want to line them up like this until you have what you need. And there we go. We got our patrol points. It looks kind of weird with the monster this way. Maybe I'll go ahead and select all of them and move it over a bit. There we go. That looks better. And now that we've done that, we are going to connect all the trigger zones to the clamp. Connect it to the top part. We are going to connect this, this, and this. And now the trigger zones will follow the monster around. Now what we are going to do is get a AI start combat behavior. It should be at the bottom. AI start and AI stop combat behavior. And we're also going to get a delay chip. Okay, and now that we have all of these, If someone enters the zone, it's going to start the combat behavior. I'm going to put the circuits up here since we have 3 trigger zones. And we're also going to get bool variables in case you enter multiple zones. It's going to stop that. You can put your delay chip anywhere. So we are going to get some Boolean variables and just get 2 of them, well, 1 of them, and then copy that. And we're going to have 1 be true. And we are going to get a if chip. I'm just going to copy the if chip from over here. Now that we have this, we should be ready to connect it. So, first thing we're going to do is whenever someone enters any of these zones, it's going to go to this if variable up here. And what it is going to do is it's going to check if this is false or true, which it's going to be false when the game begins. And if it is false, it's going to turn on the combat behavior, and then it's going to change this to true. So if you enter any of the trigger zones again, it's not going to activate again until obviously it turns to false. We're also going to connect the AI to over here since this is the AI. And we are also going to connect it to this delay chip since this is only going to activate once. And this depends on how long you want the AI to chase you. I'm just going to say 5 seconds. And then after the 5 seconds is up, it is going to stop the combat behavior and it's going to turn this back to false. So even if you leave the area, it still saw you, so it's going to chase you for 5 seconds and then it's going to stop. And yeah, there we go. We're also going to connect this. Well, actually, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's just go ahead and test this out first. So I can show you. So if I go ahead and push this, you'll see that the AI is just walking around. Let me take out my maker pen so you can see the trigger volume. And I'm going to walk in it, and the AI is going to start chasing me. And yeah, the AI is pretty fast, but if you outrun the AI, or after 5 seconds, it's going to stop chasing you. So even if you are in the trigger zone after 5 seconds, it's going to stop chasing you. Let me reset real quick. This is from CJ Gamer God, and he asked, love the tutorial. Can you make a separate video with the AI in a health bar? When you shoot, it goes down. I can do that, but I will tell you that if you do plan to do this, I hope you do know, because there's an update 30 hertz a second chip here. You can't have too many AI, because if you have too many, then they just stop working. So I do recommend just doing the other video, because I already showed a health bar with the AI, and if you shoot it with a custom gun, it does that. But I will show you with this if you want. So first things first, we're going to type in AI. And there should be a chip here. Oh no, nah, that's the wrong chip. We're going to type in combatant. So type in combatant if it's not lagging that much. And we're going to get combatant get health. So you can place this chip wherever. I'll just place it right here. And this will get the health of any combatant, an AI, combatant, or player. I'm going to connect it right down here so it will get the health of the AI. So if I go ahead and spawn the AI in, it's going to tell me the health, the shield, and the max health. And what we are going to do is we are going to get a I don't know if you will want a HUD value or player world UI. Okay, we're just going to be using text. So go ahead and get some text. Place it above the monster's head. Anywhere is fine. I'm just going to place it right here. We're going to scale this up a bit so it's easier to see his health. Maybe recolor it a bit so it's easier to look at. And then after you do that, we are going to get rid of the text right here because the text is kind of annoying. We don't need this. And you can mess with any of these settings if you want. You definitely want to keep it synced though, so everyone sees the same amount of health. We are going to get a string format chip. So type in string format, or just type in string and it will come up. And then once we do that, we want to get a 2-string chip, which we can just scroll down and get one, and put the 2-string chip here. Connect the health of the AI to the 2-string chip, so the 100 health will come out as a string. Place the string on the value, and place the string on the text. And here's where you place however whatever you want. You could have you can just have the health value if you want, but if you want a sentence or something, you want to put anything you want before the value or after the value. And then now it should appear. Also connect this to the top of the clamp so it follows it too. But now if I push this, oh yeah, I forgot to actually add an execute to the text thing. Uh, go ahead and reset it real quick. We don't really need that there. Okay, so the execute is not going to be when you shoot it, but the execute is going to be when it spawns. So I guess you want to connect it to here. And that way when it spawns, you should see the health. Yes, there we go. It's in white text, but yeah, you can see the health is 100. Oh, I see. I got a patrol point here. That's why it's chased me. Now that we have the health value, you could put a percent next to that if you want. I'm actually going to put a percent next to that so it's easier to see the health. And there we go. And I'm also going to recolor it again because it's hard to see the health. But yeah, you just want to mess around with the health value and things like that. And once you do that, we are going to get our gun from the previous video. This is going to be real quick. So, but we're going to be doing something a little different. So go ahead and get a raycast. Place your raycast right here. the max distance will be, let's see, 999. That's good. The direction is going to be the firing direction, and the start position is going to be the gun handle. We are going to get a get position chip because it doesn't want to connect otherwise. Now that we got a get position chip, connect the gun handle to the get position chip, and there we go. Now we are going to get a has tag chip. And what this is going to do is this is going to get if it has the tag of monster, which your monster should have the tag of monster, or maybe it has another tag. Just make sure that it has a tag, and with that tag, you're going to place it in the has tag chip with a if chip. So when the gun is done firing, it is going to check if what you fired at has the tag of monster. And if it does have the tag of monster, this is going to be true, and it's going to make that health value go down. So we are going to get a int variable, place it right here, and we are going to get a subtract variable. Well, it's not a variable, just subtract. And then once we get subtract, go ahead and connect your int variable to the subtract chip. And I don't know how much you want your AI to go down. You can't really detect the head or the body or whatever. Oh, talking about detecting it, before I do this, I have it on the tag of monster, so it will only detect the cube inside. We're actually going to give this a tag, so if it detects this monster, I think it's okay if it's decorational. We're going to give it the tag of hit. The monster, the tag of hit, not the cube. That way, if you hit anything on the monster, the health is going to go down. And go ahead and change this to hit 2. But as I was saying with the, if you want to shoot in the head, maybe it does 50 damage. Maybe if you shoot in the body, it does more damage. It will be hard to do that with the other AI, but you can do it with this. You probably wouldn't want to do that, but I will show you anyway. So go ahead and edit your AI. And you are actually going to separate it yourself. So let's say you want, if the head gets hit, you don't need to select any of the features on the head, just the head itself, and maybe the neck, and split the shapes from it. And we are going to connect the head to the top of the clamp. And we are going to give the head a different tag from the hit tag that it has. We're going to give it the tag of hit 1. If you want to do something different that's not less confusing, you can. It doesn't really matter what the tags are. And now that it has the tag of hit and hit 1, what we are going to do is we are just going to copy this down. Oh, got something selected over there. What we are going to do is we're just going to copy this down and change this to hit 1. Connect this to the else value to the top chip, and connect this to the object value on the raycast when it doesn't want to act weird. Okay. And we are going to copy the int variable down too. So move this up and copy this down. That way you have two separate damage. So this is for a head shot and this is for a body shot. And actually, we're just going to connect the output to the input. What we are going to do is we are going to get the health value over here and connect it to the top of both the subtract chips, and you can put your damage in. So this is a body shot. So let's say a body shot takes away 10 damage, and let's say a head shot takes away, I don't know, 25 damage. And we are going to connect the int variables to the text gadget so it can update the value. Because if we don't, it's not going to update the value, and that will be pretty bad. And the reason I'm keeping both these the same int variable is because they're basically the same thing. They're both for the health. So there we go. If I go ahead and test it out now, let me spawn the AI in. See the health value. I got my gun here. Just gonna shoot it. Oh, yeah. So everything is good, but there was one problem. This was connected to here. The problem is I kept hitting it and it kept subtracting 100 by 10 or 100 by 25. That's why the number wasn't really changing or anything. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and clone this. We actually don't need the subtract chip. I don't know why I cloned the subtract chip. And what we are going to do is we are going to connect the health value to this. And we are going to disconnect this from that, connect it to this int variable, then connect this back up here. So what this is going to do is this is going to save the value we have right away. So it's going to save that 100 health that the AI has once it spawns. And then besides of using this, because this isn't going to go down, we are going to use this int variable over here that is going to go down. So the 100 is going to save to here. And whenever you shoot it, it will go down. And if you are going to play this multiplayer, you probably want to have all your values synced together. Don't know if you want that or not, but it's probably best to be safe than sorry. And now, whenever I go ahead and push this, I should be able to shoot the AI now, and his health will slowly go down. If I get a headshot, it will be 25. And then it will hit 0 and it goes into the negatives, but we're going to stop it from going into the negatives. So now that we have this set up to stop it going into the negatives, we are going to get a less than or equal to chip. Place it right here. And we are going to get a if chip. And we are going to place it right here. It doesn't matter what int variable you connect it to, by the way. But we are going to connect one of our int variables to this and check if it's less or equal to 0. And if that is true, after it sets the text, it's going to check if it's less or equal to 0. And if it is, then we will put a check so it can't go down anymore. So we're actually going to put another if variable here. So go ahead and move your chips over a little bit. And we are going to spawn in another set of if variables. And we are going to connect it to here. Instead of having this go to here, we're going to have both of the ifs go here. Both of the int variables go here. And whether it's a headshot or a body shot, it's going to check if this is true. If it's true, it's not going to do nothing. If it's not true, then it's going to set the text. And that way we will stop it from going under 0. So if I go ahead and start it again right now, let's quickly shoot the AI and get them down to 0. So as you can see, I see. We are actually going to turn this to less or equal to the reason it's staying at 10 is because when it hits 0, it immediately stops setting the value. So I am going to turn this to -10. -10. So now that way, if I go ahead and shoot them, it should go to 0. Yep, it stays at 0 because I don't know if yeah, even if I shoot them in the head, it doesn't work. So what you want to do is you want to change your less than or equal to value to your smallest damage value, which is 10. Well, you want to turn that to negative. That way it will stay at 0. And then it's going to despawn. I'm assuming that once it reaches 0, you want it to despawn and the health to reset. So I'm going to do that real quick, and that will be the last part of this video. So if I go ahead and connect the thin value to this bool value right here, that's false, then it's going to have it so you can spawn another AI, and also to reset this back to 0, we're just going to be copying this down and putting this here. That way it will reset to 0, and then when you spawn another AI in, oh, I guess we also do need to destroy that AI down there, huh? So we are going to move this. Wait a second. The chip's up here. Okay. Yeah, we're going to reset this AI, and we're also going to reset this monster right here. So get a well, just type in reset. It should come up. Rec Room object reset. Place it down here. And we are resetting the monster after it resets that. And there you go. I'm just going to show you real quick before I go. But if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.